This is a HeadGum podcast.
Hey, the United Kingdom, we're coming there very soon to do shows.
Yeah, and we mean the entire kingdom. Well, just 2 of the countries, but still.
Yeah, just specifically 2 cities.
Sorry if you're in the Isle of Man and you got all excited.
Yeah, but you're a hop, skip, and a jump away from these places, I assume. I have no idea what the geography of the UK is like. September 13th, that's a Wednesday, we're playing Edinburgh, Scotland.
Yeah.
At the Scottish Storytelling Center. That's at night.
And
you should go.
We'll be telling stories and a whole lot more.
Yeah. Same thing on Friday, September 15th, and Saturday, September 16th. We'll be in London at the London Podcast Festival at King's Place. The best place for kings. You can still go if you're not the king. I think. Check on the website.
I don't know. Don't point to us if you get off with his head.
And if you're listening in the future, this is 2017. We're talking about 2017.
All these tickets are on sale.
Yeah, so go get them now because they're going fast.
A lot of them sell out usually.
Yeah. tcgte.com/tour.
Yeah.
Do it today.
Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to Everything, a podcast about everything. I'm one of your hosts, Tom.
And I'm Tim. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because our engineer, John, here gave us a hand signal just to indicate, I've started recording, and you waved back at him, and he has his back to us.
I didn't wave back at him. I hit the... I hit my timer. I timed these episodes.
There was a flourish.
Yeah, I had a nice flourish.
I thought you were waving back like you were a ship captain acknowledging him.
No, but can I tell you something?
What?
I'm very rarely on a boat, but I cannot stand when you're on a boat and you pass another boat and people wave to each other. Shut up. Just enjoy your time on the sea.
That's what people are doing when they say hi, Tim. Tim, you called me like a misanthrope, but you don't like waving to other boats? Who gives a shit? You said yourself you're barely on boats.
Yeah, I wave back every time, but like if it's like
a typical landlubber.
Landlubber. It's like a ferry or like a bigger ship, and there's like hundreds of people there, and they're like, "Hello!" Like, yeah, we're all on boats. Great. Like,
wait,
if
so
you were in
mad?
a car, if you were just driving down the expressway or something, and you're in traffic, and you look over, and there's some dimwit in the car next to you, like, "Hey, I'm in a car too. Hey, we're driving. Look at this."
Well, if he's driving,
how great is this roads?
If he's driving the same model car, sure. Then you gotta acknowledge,
Only if it's like a T-bird.
Game respects game.
Yeah, only if you're both driving like classic cars.
Yeah.
You can honk your...
everybody that drives a classic car knows each other already.
Yeah.
From all the
meet
conventions.
At the Rich Jerk Club. We have too much money.
Wait, were you... I'm not done with the boat stuff.
Okay, yeah.
Were you on the ferry and you get mad, or you're on the smaller boat?
Either or, man.
But you're referring to something in particular, it sounds like.
I mean, I was on a sailboat a couple weeks ago, and a ferry came by, and there were like, I'd say about 50 people on this sailboat with me.
Wow, it's a big sailboat.
It was a big sailboat, Tom. Had the sails and everything. I don't know anything about boats.
Well, and you were the captain, right?
Yeah, I was wearing the hat. I was wearing the hat at least,
right.
So I pulled rank a lot. They didn't actually let me near that big steering wheel. It seems like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But it moves the mast, and I would have just or not the mast. It moves the boom thing or whatever.
And somebody went, whoa!
Yeah, so like me, playing around behind the wheel and turning that could have knocked some old lady into the water.
And it would have.
Yeah, that was my goal.
So wait, but you were mad that a bigger boat was saying hi to you guys?
I just, it was just play it cool, act like you've been there before. Like... You're on a boat. Calm down. You don't have to wave at everybody. You say, "Hey, we're on boats. Hello."
Was it like a tourist ferry?
I don't know.
Then maybe they hadn't been there before.
So what? I hadn't been at this particular. I'm not a seafaring man, Tom. I had not been on this particular
vessel.
Yeah, but it's fine. We don't need to what what did any of us gain? Like, I'm not like, well, felt a real sense of community out there on the high seas.
Yeah, it sounds like you did.
No, it's just a bunch of
it made
jerks.
an impression.
Such a bunch of kids and grandmas.
That's what the sea's full
Yeah,
of.
and I'm not in the business of waving back.
But you did wave back.
I did because I felt pressure.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Everybody was waving back,
Uh-huh.
and I felt like a jerk. So I tried to wave with a flourish, like I did. Like
Just
I started the timer, but so I just kind of like shot my hand up. But then I was like, oh no, did that look like a Nazi salute? And in this day and age.
Yeah.
Like, maybe there is a Nazi on the boat.
Well, why'd you feel that you had to add a flourish?
Because
you went from, like, not wanting to do it to being like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with style.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Like, why, I'm either out or I'm all in.
Split the difference.
I don't want to do
move on with
no,
your life.
I don't want to live a normal life like that, Tom.
Right.
That's ordinary. That's for ordinary people.
Yeah.
I'm either sitting it out or I'm approaching everything with gusto.
Well, how's your week been, Tim?
It's been crappy. I feel like crap. I drank 4 beers yesterday, and I just feel like I'm going to die. How has your week been?
Good. I did have...
Some people waved at me on a boat a couple weeks ago. I'm still furious about it.
I did have one of the most embarrassing nights of my life the other night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And it came out of nowhere.
Why were you letting me talk about people waving on boats?
I don't know. You seem very insistent about it.
I'm very still upset. Should I tell more details about it?
I don't know. Are there any other hate groups you can work into the story?
I didn't mean... I should make it clear that I was not doing the Nazi salute, Tom.
Yeah, I think you did make it clear.
Okay.
Until you said it looked like a Nazi salute, and then that added some ambiguity.
Yeah, because I was like, I've never approached a wave with such gusto before.
Right.
And
you
I was
probably nearly threw yourself off the boat.
I did.
You did throw.
I did throw myself off the boat. Sorry, your embarrassing night.
Yeah. It actually happened. It was after I was hanging out with you.
Ooh.
In Manhattan,
Manhattan, New York?
Yeah. And I had to go to Duane Reade, a local drugstore.
The hell were we in, man? Oh, I remember this.
Yeah.
Yes. You pulled a good bit of pretend. You were like, I'm going to go to, we were parting ways.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm going to go to this Duane Reade, and then pretended like you were actually going into a Best Buy.
Right.
It might not seem like a great piece of comedic business, but at the time,
It killed.
It killed.
Well, I knew my audience. So I went there, and I needed like a couple of things. Oh, the main thing was I needed a toothbrush.
Mm.
So that was like the dire why I had to be.
You've been without a toothbrush for months now, as I understand it.
Yeah, because I didn't know who sold them. And finally, I've been looking at Best Buy every week.
Yeah, no. I
Yeah.
mean, they do sell toothbrushes there.
They probably sell the electric toothbrush,
Yeah,
which
get yourself a
was
Philips.
actually what I left behind at a friend's lake house by accident.
Sure you did.
So I needed it back,
On the
which
lake,
hopefully...
look at you. I bet you went on a boat like a fancy lad.
No, because the boat had a hole in it.
Yeah.
So anyway...
Did you wave at boats from the shore?
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. I'll wave to people on the shore. So anyway, you were at the Duane Reade.
I was at the Duane Reade, and I was like, you know what?
A drugstore.
Yeah.
A chemist.
A chemist. While I was there, I was like, you know what? I should see what they got about getting rid of this goddamn fly in my apartment. Tim, I opened my window because I was cooking for like 5 minutes weeks ago, and a fly got in, and I can't catch this fly for the life of me. I've been trying to catch this fly. My dog's been trying to catch this fly. Neither of us can get it
Two
done.
you nincompoofs can't get close to this fly.
I
huh?
can't tell you how many times we've clunked heads trying to get the fly. So
That's adorable, though. That's
So I'm like, all right, Duane Reade, they probably got fly paper. That's what I'll get. That's a good thing to get flies with. Couldn't find fly paper there. And it's like late at night at Duane Reade. I don't want to, be there longer than I have to.
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, let's get this fly swatter.
This is, by the way, Friday night, New
yeah,
York City.
Friday night, New York
This is
City.
a pretty cool pretty cool thing you're out doing.
Well, that's what made it humiliating.
I need to buy it. It's 10:30 p.m. on a Friday night. I'd like to buy a toothbrush and take care of my fly situation. You nerd! I went to the clubs. That's when we parted ways.
I normally, like, if I, by default nowadays, I'll say, oh, I don't need a bag for things.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have a bag with me.
Real hero, Tom.
I didn't have a bag with me. My toothbrush, I was able to put in my pocket, but then I had to take a long journey on a subway home holding a fly swatter. And I looked like the most ridiculous person, and people kept laughing at me.
Just openly laughing at you?
Yeah, because I'm just
I would laugh at a guy who looked like he wasn't insane that was just
yeah, because it's like, you know, like fairly late on a Friday night. I have not had a single drink, so I'm not drunk or anything. I'm just sitting on a subway with a fly swatter, and there's like no cool way to hold a fly swatter, like discreetly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nah, it's a walk all the way back from the subway with a fly. I looked like I was a maniac, like out to swat flies in the middle of the night.
A fly swatter is such a weird thing to be like so ubiquitous. Like, yeah, you could get your hands on a fly swatter in like less than 5 minutes, no matter where you are in this city.
Yeah, but
it shouldn't be the case. I've never bought a fly swatter, but I know it's
available. I feel
available.
like nobody's ever remembered buying a fly swatter.
It's a weird thing to like. How many flies? Like, look, you have this one fly, right? But if you had more than this one fly,
right,
it'd be like, Tom, we need to talk.
Right, take your garbage out. Don't buy more fly swatters.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, Tim, first try, bam, got that fly.
Nailed him.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Why didn't you just roll up a newspaper?
I hadn't thought about that. I don't know. I don't have newspapers lying around. What am I, Grandpa?
Maybe.
No,
Are
Tim.
you Grandpa?
I'm all digital.
Who knows?
I'm
the
all
ladies even.
digital.
Hit it with an iPad.
I get the newspaper.
Hit it with
scan it in.
Oh,
and then once it's scanned in, throw it out.
You burn it.
Burn it
for heat.
Yeah. Burn it to cook, mostly.
Yeah. But then you open the window. The fly gets in.
Yeah, and now look, I gotta spend $1.49 on a fly swatter.
Yeah, so that's not super embarrassing because like you were in on the joke. Were you playing it up? Were you like, pointing at the fly swatter and then at yourself? Like, yeah, what an asshole, right?
No, I just want to go home. I don't want anybody looking at me.
Yeah, I mean that's always the case with you.
Yeah, especially on the subway. But you know what? I had the last laugh because, like I said, first try. Bam.
Well, congratulations.
Nailed.
Did you see this?
Nailed that MFer.
Jackass brought a peacock onto the subway, but it was like a stuffed peacock.
No.
You hear about this? It was I think it was a peacock.
Well, why is he a jackass if it's a stuffed one?
Because it was like some guy in Bushwick that like brought it on the subway to like be like, yo, I'm gonna freak out the squares because it's like a big thing, you know?
Yeah,
like,
peacock.
Yeah. And then there were like these blogs. You hear about these bloggers in the blogosphere, Tom? But they're just like, oh, and all these New Yorkers, all these jaded New Yorkers are just looking at their phones. And there was like a picture of this guy with like a stuffed peacock, like a big thing. Yeah. And then everybody looking at their phones. It's like, yeah, that's what you do on the subway when some jackass comes on looking for attention, like, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna freak out the squares. It's just like, you look at your phone.
That's one of the things that makes New York great. That everybody's like, nah, I'm not gonna be impressed by this. You're just being an idiot.
Yeah, go home.
And also, what are they supposed to do? Just stare at it the whole ride?
Whoa, what is that? Wow, what a cool, interesting person brought this on.
Yeah. Don't get me. Yeah.
Yeah, he might have had a valid reason for transporting it.
You're what?
I was too busy looking at my phone. I should have engaged him.
Oh, you were on the train?
Yeah, I was on the train.
Oh.
I was the blogger who wrote the story in question.
Tim, during the break, you showed me a picture of this peacock. It's not even... I don't think that's a stuffed peacock. I think that's a real peacock.
Yeah, it's a real peacock, but it's stuffed. It's not alive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's an actual peacock. It's not like a stuffed
You
animal.
sure it's not a live peacock?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it doesn't have its feathers out, which I would assume if you're going to stuff a peacock, you have it doing its, what do you call it, plumage?
Yeah, but that's if you're basic. This guy's an artist.
Oh, all right.
He's just like...
Because that's just like a peacock like hanging out on a perch.
Yeah. It's dead, though.
You say so. I don't see any evidence that peacock's dead. Anyway.
It's taxidermied. Tom.
I thought you said it was a Subway.
All right. What are we talking about this week? This is a classic Tom episode. You insisted on doing this episode. I hope you have a lot of the material, as it were.
Boy, Tim, you talk about material. I'm going to tell you about something that has the most material of anything in the solar system.
Now, what is that?
That's
the solar system.
Oh, the solar system.
Yeah.
Well, Speed Demon. The solar system is the sun, our sun, and then all the planets
our
around
sun,
it.
Tom.
my and your son.
Yeah. We adopted him. He's a great kid.
He's a real little stinker.
He's got his problems.
Shit.
A little stinker, but
that's a
hard
problem
to
child.
Like the problem child.
Yeah.
Look, the problem child. Yeah, he was a little stinker,
Mm-hmm.
but wouldn't you be? You had to live at the orphanage with Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
And then
why did John Ritter get the problem child?
Because he wanted to have a boy.
Yeah.
To do chores, I think.
Yeah, something like that, right? He just wanted somebody to boss around.
No, John Ritter's intentions were pure. He just wanted to, or either that, or he wanted to like attract women with the kid or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Seems like a bad way to attract women.
Yeah, to have like a little shit redhead with a bow tie.
Yeah, but like I
don't
look. Junior was his name. I don't fault Junior for being a little stinker. He had a tough life. Yeah. He's in the foster care system for so long.
True.
And, you know.
You gotta, and he wasn't actually that much of a stinker to John Ritter.
No,
mostly other people.
He had a heart of gold.
Yeah,
much like
John
our
Ritter
son.
loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah, much like our son.
Our son, the problem child.
Anyway, this week we're talking about.
Why did we adopt that kid? Is the question, Tom.
There was a special on. This week we're talking about. Hey, y'all know it. Y'all love it. It's the sun.
Not everybody loves it, Tom.
Vampires.
Robert Smith, yeah.
Robert Smith from the
Cure, yeah.
He doesn't love the sun?
No, he certainly hasn't been out in the sun in years.
That's
if you
true.
ask me.
He's very goth.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So goths and vampires don't like the sun.
You don't like the sun.
I love
very
the
much.
sun. My favorite season is summer. It's right in the name, Sunmer.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's Sting's last name.
Sting Sunmer.
Yes.
Gordon Sumner.
Yeah.
Sunmer. That's hard to say.
Yeah, it is. That's why I changed it to Sting.
Anyway, I got into, who was that? The other day I was explaining to somebody that there was a wrestler named Sting, and they didn't know that.
That always confused me when I was a kid.
Yeah, and that's what this person was like, oh, I've never heard of that. I don't really watch wrestling. I'm like, I don't watch wrestling either, but there was a wrestler named Sting and a man named Sting, a music man named Sting.
And a part of a bee
that
you have to watch out for.
Yeah, which was all, but like, and both of these things like hinted at their name having something to do with that.
Yeah.
But not real.
They're always buzzing about.
And the wrestling Sting wore face masks, so or face makeup. So for all you knew, he was the other Sting.
Probably not, because he was way bigger.
Probably not, but you don't know that for sure. Tim, he might have had one of those muscle suits.
Yeah. Remember when, like, the whole thing about Sting was, like, he has tantric sex? Remember that? And, like, it was just like...
Well, I remember that being your whole thing about him.
If you brought up Sting in the 90s, that's, like, all anybody would say.
Well, not when Desert Rose was topping the charts, buddy.
Those 2000s, Tom. Or was it? I saw Sting in concert at the height of Desert Rose Mania.
As a result... You were just like, I gotta see this song live. It's too much.
No, I thought he'd be having tantric sex.
Yeah.
And I didn't necessarily want to see it, but I knew it lasted a very long time, and I was like, well, I'll get my money's worth.
Yeah.
So that's why I saw Sting in the 90s. It was good. He had this trumpet player that like ruined all the Police songs.
Oh, but do you do like That's Desert Rose.
Desert Rose.
On the trumpet.
Like a smooth trumpet, yeah.
I only know how to play a smooth trumpet, Tim.
Mm-hmm. This was a smooth trumpet, so you're pretty accurate, actually.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Did he stretch that song out tantrically? Because that's already like a long song.
I feel like that Sting concert that I went to in
It's still going on
1990. I think it was like 4 hours long, and he might have played 3 songs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well
Done, Sting.
But that's not what we're talking about.
No.
Talking about the sun. Talking about our sun.
No. Tom, let's get on track here. Talking about the sun, which isn't a planet.
No, the first of many facts coming at you.
Yeah.
Research.
Hey, fun facts or sun facts?
It's up to the listener to decide at this point.
You know what? I like having fun in the sun, Tom.
Tim, I have things like that further in the notes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Researching this episode felt like writing a goddamn school report.
Yeah, the sun is so goddamned boring. I know it's the only reason any of us are here or alive, but...
And in fairness to you, Tim, you can say the sun's boring. The sun's got no feelings. It's got no personality. You can shit-talk the sun. What's it going to do?
I don't know. He scoops all those raisins into the box of cereal.
Popular misconception.
I've seen it with my 2 eyes, Tom.
I like Raisin Bran. It's good cereal.
I agree.
2 scoops.
The raisins are like extra sugar-fied. Like, those are not real raisins in there. They're like raisins that they like.
Oh yeah, they're like
take
coated
a
in
syringe
sugar.
And like inject
No,
a
they're
whole
like
bunch of
they're
sugar
coated. You can see it. It's like frosted raisins.
Well done.
Yeah, good thinking.
Kellogg's.
Good idea.
Good job, the sun.
Researching this felt like writing a paper for school. The sun's very boring.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, nah, the sun's probably super interesting.
You would think it'd be interesting and cool because he wears sunglasses.
Well, he has to.
Yeah. It's regular, the Fonz. The Fonz never wore sunglasses, huh?
Probably once in a while he did.
Mm.
Probably for sure when they had him, like, do stunts and stuff in later seasons.
When he jumped
so they
the
could
shark.
hide that it was it wasn't Henry Winkler. So they could hide it was Henry Winkler. Because, you know, the fans would get very upset if they knew that Henry Winkler was being put in danger.
They'd freak out. No, he was not wearing sunglasses when he jumped the shark. I have confirmation.
Thank you.
Visual confirmation. So, sorry, the sun.
Well,
boring.
so I'm bringing this
Let's
up.
get back to the boring thing that we were talking about. Instead of the Fonz, we'll talk about the boring thing.
I'm bringing this up as a topic because we got a solar eclipse coming to the United States.
Yeah.
And probably some other countries, but who knows who they are.
They've been calling it the American eclipse.
The American eclipse.
Don't look at it because you'll go blind.
So you have to be in a very thin area for this to be a total eclipse.
Okay.
So like where we are.
It's fat.
Yeah. What?
It's the opposite of thin. No, so it goes up. It goes like across the United States from like I'd say like
because it's so for people that don't know what an eclipse is, a solar eclipse.
Who do you think is listening to this? Babies?
Yeah, probably a few babies.
Okay.
I know one baby's the host of it.
you promised me you would not bring this up.
So, it's when the moon goes in front of the sun, in between the sun and the earth, it makes a shadow.
Tom, you're making no sense. The moon comes out at night, you jackass.
Well, that's what makes it so crazy. That's what makes it so insane, because it's nighttime and daytime at the same time.
Somebody needs to put the moon in its place.
Yeah.
There, I'll say it.
Well, so that's why it only happens, every once in a while. But it's happening in like a couple of weeks. Well, supposedly. Who knows?
What does that mean? You think it's a lie?
Well, I mean, they're saying it's going to happen, but, anything could change between now and then.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So
I'm not interested in looking at an eclipse. I know I should be. But I remember in 6th grade, they hyped up this eclipse.
Yeah, I remember that eclipse.
And they made us
I think that was actually like, no, it wouldn't have been the same eclipse.
It was years ago, Tom. They made us do this thing where it's like we put a pinhole in a piece of paper, and then we were supposed to look at the reflection. And I was like, I don't understand what this was supposed to be.
Well, when you look at it that way, it's like, wow, this is the most boring way to look at something.
Because it just makes the light disappear. Like the light is there, but
you
now it's not
see a projection of what's happening.
Really?
Yeah.
I never understood what I was supposed to be looking at.
Right.
And also, it didn't seem to get very dark.
Yeah.
Which was another thing that was like, well, this is... I felt like I was sold a bill of goods, and I was just like, no. And now it's, how many years later? 20 years later? 25 years later? Maybe more than that. I don't know how old the sixth grader is.
The sixth grader is about 12.
Okay, so it's like 23 years later.
This isn't the same eclipse then. They reoccur every 18 years and like 11 days or something.
Yeah.
Don't blow that off like it's
well, I don't know.
not
Okay, so it's I'm sure it's true. It's just really boring. But I was at the 7-Eleven the other day, and they were like on the counter. They were like, buy these glasses so you could look at the eclipse.
Oh, they're selling them at 7-Eleven?
Yeah, and I'm just like, no way. I got
no way. Just give me my Slurpee, idiot.
Yeah, I got duped by this scam in sixth grade. You think that's the one thing I learned in sixth grade. Eclipses, scams.
So, well, here are two things about that. One is I read that there's a bunch of eclipse sunglasses you can buy on Amazon that apparently are like fakes.
Yeah,
and
that seems like something you'd get into.
Selling fake solar eclipse sunglasses.
Yeah.
Yo, you can blind somebody.
Yeah, but you would be like not for use if you don't want to be blind or something like really tiny.
Thanks, Tim. That's a very nice thing to say about me, that I'd blind people to make like $5 off of Amazon.
I mean, $5 a pop.
$5 profit, sure. But I mean, if it's $5 net,
yeah, that's true.
or gross. What's the one? Gross. The other thing about like eclipse viewing gear, it makes me think the whole thing's just a scam, right?
Yeah, I told you 5 minutes ago it was a scam, and then you were like, "It's 18 years and some 11 boring."
No,
days.
I'm not saying that it doesn't happen in 11 boring days. Well, you know an eclipse is coming because
18 years and then 11 days of hype where it's just like, yeah, I know the moon goes in front of the sun.
You're like, hey, call me when the moon hits my eye.
Yeah, like a big pizza pie.
Yeah, now I'll know it's amore.
I'd like to fall in love one day.
You're getting married in a month. Huh? So my thing is, if I have to go out and buy glasses for this thing to look at it safely, then what the hell am I so? Then I'm just looking at the sun, and then just sell me glasses where I can look at the sun anytime I want.
Sunglasses, Tom. I got them, and they're great.
You still can't. I lost mine again, I think.
Buffoon.
So please don't rub it in. But you can't look at the sun with regular sunglasses. Well, you're not supposed to, Tim. You're gonna wind up with problems.
Yeah. Well,
that's kind of crazy to me.
How many authority to go screw?
Oh wow!
I'll look at the sun with whatever glasses I.
The cops don't try and stop you from looking at the sun.
Yeah, well, because they know they can't.
Maybe a nice police officer, if you saw you staring at the sun, would stop and be like, "Hey, buddy."
I saw these
cut it out.
Police officers in the subway station on the way here, and I know they're looking for evildoers. But this lady was trying to bring a rolling suitcase through the turnstile, and
they should have arrested her.
No, she got so tangled up that it was insane. It was a dereliction of duty that these police officers did not go and untangle her out of this turnstile.
Oh, did it get stuck between the?
Yeah, but then
poles
she got stuck, and then Nothing was turning, and like it was rush hour. And I understand it's like, well, if there's an evildoer here, you gotta like keep your eye out for them. But they were also they also had their friggin' phones out.
Right. Well, then that's an extra distraction. What if they have their phones out and ISIS and somebody gets stuck in the turnstile? They're like, well, I can only concentrate on one thing at a time.
Yeah, that's true. But I do see the guys with the assault rifles very often in the subway station I go to every day. And whatever, you got whatever. Sorry. But
what were you apologizing for?
I don't know, like, because people are like, they keep us safe. Yeah, they keep us safe, whatever.
Right.
But they have these, like, huge, giant, scary guns.
They have, like, AR-15s or whatever.
Yeah.
Assault rifles.
And there's, like, a group of, like, 6 of them with, like, the scariest guns in the world while everybody's just going to work, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, they also are not paying attention to the fact that they have these huge guns. Like, they're all on their phones and, like, joking around with each other.
Maybe they're looking up instructions for the guns.
That's true.
Just in case something happens. What was your point about all this?
That a lady got tangled up in the turnstile.
No, but my point...
and the cop should have stepped
well,
in. But, like, it's not my place to say. I'm not the sergeant. I had a chance to be the police sergeant.
Right.
I turned it down.
Yeah. You're still a lieutenant?
Yeah.
In the
I don't
police?
know the ranks of anything.
Well, that's probably one of the reasons why you were looked over for the position.
No, they offered it to me. I wasn't looked over.
They
offered me chief, Tom, if we're being honest here.
Did you turn it down because you weren't sure if it was a promotion or a demotion?
Yeah, exactly.
Always play it safe if you're not sure and turn it down.
Well, the thing is, I'm not currently on the force, so anything... technically is a promotion.
Oh, this was just an offer.
From civilian to lieutenant is a meteoric rise. I got some bad advice.
From who?
From don't
two tell
people.
Me criminals.
Yeah.
Well, because the
NWA told me something about the police.
That you're not gonna believe.
Yeah. And then a man, Flavor Flav, told me about 911 being a joke in my town. And I know when you call 911, sometimes the police come, so that's a joke.
Well, they probably didn't come when you called 911 when you saw the woman stuck in the turnstile, right?
Yeah, I did. It caused a big
They're like, and there's cops here, and they're just on their phones.
Oh, God. Can you imagine what would happen? Nothing.
What do you mean?
They'd be like, okay, there's cops there.
Yeah.
Go home.
They'd be like, we'll tell those cops to arrest you for bothering us.
I can't help her. I'm in a rush. I have a podcast to record.
Oh, you were on the way here.
Yeah.
Tom.
Oh, geez. This is mere minutes ago. This is breaking news. She's probably still stuck in that turnstile, if we're being honest.
You should have told the cops you had a podcast to get to, because you were actually like a few minutes late, and they probably could have given you a police escort.
Oh, yeah. They were on foot, but like
but they would have run alongside you with their guns out,
or carried me like a baby.
Right. Or fireman carry.
Yeah.
While the rest just,
I prefer being carried like a baby.
Well, I know you So
promised you wouldn't say.
I think that I don't get what all the hype is about a solar eclipse if I can't look at it with my own eyes. And
it doesn't even get dark.
And as a bigger point, it gets a little dark.
Yeah, it gets dark on a cloudy day, too. And we're all like, this stinks. Why are we getting excited about it? Because it's the moon instead of a cloud.
My other thing is, isn't it ridiculous that we can't look at the sun?
I told you I can. And I do.
I'm just like...
It's so bright, Tom.
I know what it is, Tim. You don't have
to... Well,
to
Tom, let me tell you something.
Mansplain the sun to me.
The sun is a star that is in the center of the solar system.
I know what the fuck the sun is.
Tom, the sun is recognized as having the largest mass in our solar system.
That's literally how I started the episode.
Yeah, but did you also mention that the diameter of the sun is 1.4 million kilometers? You know that is 870,000 Earth miles.
Yeah, but I have no frame of you can tell me.
Right?
Yeah.
Once you get to a certain thing, it's
when they're like, you could fit this many Earths inside the sun. Who gives a shit? Are you going to do it? If you're not going to do it, then shut up.
Yeah, put up or shut up is what I say.
But it's like I can't really wrap my head around how big the Earth is. So how am I gonna do all this? They should make everything smaller so I can understand it better.
No, but like when they're like the sun's
They
distance.
were like the sun is twice the size of the Earth. I'd be like, I still don't really know how big that is, but all right, we're getting closer.
But when they're like the distance from the Earth to the sun is 93 million miles. Well, I know what like a mile is.
Right, barely.
Yeah, but like I don't know, like. It's useless information. You could say it's 93 million miles or like 100 billion miles. Just as relevant.
Yeah.
Me. You idiots.
Yeah,
you science. Stop trying to explain things to me,
yeah,
science.
Stop. Who cares?
Who cares
Keep
about
it to
science?
yourself.
It's all lies, too, from what I'm told.
All right, Tim. Enough of you just, degrading scientists.
Is it because you FL science?
Effing love. Tim, you don't have to censor the word love. As I've told you a million times, as I've told you on this podcast, and as I've told you in regard to our son, you don't have to censor the word love.
I just don't want, I don't want him to think I love him.
Let me tell you some facts about the sun, Tim.
Oh, brother, is this the diameter of the sun is 870,000?
No, it's
miles.
mostly made out of hydrogen and helium.
So this is the
Have
other
you ever
thing-
heard about this? So if you suck the sun in, you talk like this.
Yeah, but it'd be very hot. You'd also burn your lungs up.
That's why nobody's done it.
I can't wrap my head around the fact that like it's just gas, but like still it's a ball,
Yeah.
right? Explain that to me, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Considering the vast expanse of the sun, this means it is the closest thing to a perfect sphere that has ever been observed in nature. It is like a perfect circle.
Okay. Yeah, sure. It's the thing that like sustains life. I'm sure it's like
A perfect
it's
circle?
really good. Great, it's
Tim,
perfect.
yeah, I'd be so defensive about the sun. Yeah, great. It's perfect. I'm happy for it.
Look, I think we should be worshiping the sun, right? But I don't think we should pat it on give it a pat on the back for how big it is and how perfectly round it is.
But worship it.
I think we should worship the sun
Uh-huh.
and lightning.
And why lightning?
More lightning. I don't understand why
We don't worship
lightning isn't more alarming to everybody.
Because we understand what it is now. Back
Yeah.
in the old days, we thought it was Zeus throwing things at us.
But guess what, Tom?
Mm-hmm.
It's just random electricity shooting out of the sky.
Yeah.
That's scarier than Zeus. Zeus you can reason with.
I don't think you actually can reason with Zeus. I think
don't
that's
know anything.
one of the things that made him kind of an asshole.
This is part of the reason I can't go on Jeopardy. I don't know anything about the gods.
Yeah.
I don't
Greek
know.
or Roman.
Yeah, I don't know the ranks of police officer or military.
Frequent category on Jeopardy.
I mean, that comes up sometimes.
More military, probably.
Yeah. I don't know anything about kings or rivers or
Right.
geography
Yeah.
or Shakespeare or American history
Uh-huh.
or like
But, yeah,
world
you're
history.
going to have a real tough time on there, too.
Yeah, but like rock and roll Jeopardy is really good at.
Trivia, okay.
Yeah.
I saw somebody get hit by lightning once.
No, you didn't.
I-
This is something you have so many 5-year-old like tendencies where it's like I saw him, like the kid that lies about freaking seeing Santa.
Oh, I saw Santa.
Yeah, see, yeah. Never been angrier in my whole life. I talk about this all the time. My cousin, who's now like a fully grown adult, but like when she was a kid, on Christmas Day one day, she was like her parents were like, she saw Santa last night, and she's lying to everybody.
No, she didn't.
She was walking around like being like, oh yeah, I saw him, and then the reindeer like he fed a. It's like, why are we encouraging? And everybody's like, oh, tell us about this. Like they're calling her over to have her recount the story that she made up and is just lying to all these grown-ups' faces. Mm-hmm. Why isn't she punished for this?
And now she's the president.
She's the president of the United States, Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Why did you bring that up?
Because kids lie. bothers me.
Oh, you were accusing me of being a
Oh,
liar.
yeah, you got struck by lightning.
I didn't get struck, but I saw
I
somebody.
got struck by lightning and it gave me superpowers. I can't show you now. You remember when you went around telling everybody in grade school about how you had a hoverboard
You
in real life?
didn't know me in grade school.
Yeah, but I've heard about this.
And I didn't tell everybody. I just told AJ, and we're still great friends to this day.
Yeah,
so
'cause he called you on your BS.
yeah. And I said, you know what? You got gumption. I like it. Let's be
You got
pals.
moxie, kid. Showed up at my house and said, make with the hoverboard.
You know what? When that happened, when I told him I had a hoverboard, that was like my attempt. That was literally me saying, you know what? All these other kids lie through their teeth. And like, the new kid who tells everybody his dad's a spy, he seems real popular. Why don't I try telling people lies?
Tom, just be yourself.
And the one time I did do that, I made a very good friend. So maybe there's a lesson there. Just always lie.
All right.
Anyway.
It's offensive.
When I saw somebody get hit by lightning,
Oh, and then you saved them, I bet, right? You were the hero of the story?
No, and actually I should have been, but I wasn't.
You were the proverbial cop watching a lady get tangled in a turnstile.
Honestly, that is the best description of what happened in this case. This was, I was still in college. I was home for the summer, and or maybe it was like the summer after college. But I was home, and I was like looking for work, and there was a job on like Craigslist for a VH1, the music channel.
Okay.
They were shooting a commercial.
Video Hits 1.
Video Hits 1. They were shooting a commercial, and they needed a registered lifeguard, which I still was at that point.
You're not anymore. You let it lapse.
Let it lapse, baby.
How long ago?
I don't know. Over 10, 15 years ago.
Okay. I remember when this happened. This was an exciting day for all of us.
It was, because it was for a commercial for the VH1 show.
And we all love commercials.
We all love commercials. For the VH1 show, I Love the 80s. So Michael Ian Black was there, who I love.
Post the State, pre any kind of other mainstream success,
yeah,
right?
But post Stella, he had already done a little Stella, which
Right.
was what I talked to him about to be my in. Hey man, some pretty good water here today, huh? Hey, I like Stella's the best thing I've ever seen.
Why did they need a lifeguard for a commercial shoot?
Because they were bringing out what's his name, JJ from Good Times. They were putting him out in a canoe in the middle of the Hudson River.
Jimmy Walker?
Yes, Jimmy Walker. So the guy who says,
Dynamite. Yeah. He has a net worth of $500,000. Is that high or low? I think it's low. I think it's low for him.
Yeah, but I could see him. He was very young when Good Times was on. He probably blew all that money.
I mean, young people can be good with money.
I don't know.
Look at Richie
I
Rich.
wasn't. Richie Rich blows his money.
Yeah, but he's got it. He's must have some of it
That's
invested.
his parents' money. You fundamentally misunderstand how Richie Rich is rich.
I think he had a roller coaster in his backyard, Tom.
Yeah, that's not a good use of money.
What do you mean? Oh,
I mean,
saving
all right.
on Six Flags
it's the best use of money.
admission alone, Tom. How much do you spend on Six Flags admission every year?
Hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
They keep trying to sell me a season pass. I say, I'm not falling for that scam.
Yeah.
They're like, it's the same price as, coming here. It's less than coming here twice. But, yeah, but is it?
I mean, yes, but you're right to question authority.
So anyway, they needed a lifeguard there for insurance purposes. That was the only reason I was there. They understood this isn't, we're not doing a stunt or anything. It's just that this guy has to go out on a canoe.
Yeah. It's not like anybody's going to get struck by lightning and we need somebody to
Well, that's what they
save
thought.
them. Yeah.
Because all of a
folks
sudden,
at Video Hits 1.
and it was they were putting him on a canoe for one shot at the end of the day. So the whole day I was just standing around doing nothing,
bothering Michael Ian
bothering
Black.
Michael Ian Black, waiting outside.
Remember
his
when you and
trailer.
David Wayne did the bit that was kind of like the
pretty
Three
much.
Stooges? Yeah.
But so I was just hanging out, And then all of a sudden, like a torrential rainstorm came out of nowhere, thunderstorm. And everybody was like, oh, shit, this is like really bad. All right, we're going to stop shooting. Everybody get back to your cars. Everybody went back in their cars. People who had trailers went in their trailers. I'm sitting in my car, and all of a sudden, everything goes white. Like completely, like.
Were you in heaven?
I thought I was. I said out loud, am I in heaven?
Nice.
What is this, heaven? And then I could see like glowing balls in not testicles, Tim. Glowing like the sun, that kind of ball. Like 3 glowing balls, like after this bright flash, just like in the air. And it was very weird looking. And then, like, the most tremendous thunder crack I've ever heard in my life. And everybody was like, what the hell was that? That was weird. And then it turned out there was like a PA who was on his way to the one of the trailers. Lightning hit the trailer, jumped from the trailer into him, and jumped out his, he was wearing sandals. You could see it go out his foot and hit the ground.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he die?
No. And he was fine. And then, like, the producers or whatever were like, and he was fine and he was joking around. And I was like, I should probably get out of my car.
Did you pretend
I'm being paid $500 in case somebody's in a life-threatening situation. Like, I'm here because I'm, certified to save somebody on the water, but I'm also CPR certified, first aid responder certified, all these things. Very important in a case where somebody's hit by lightning. So anyway, I get out of the car. I'm like, you all right? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. And then he's like joking around.
You're like, that's all right, everybody. I got this.
Hey, it's all right. Dr. Tom says he's fine. He checks out. Hey, let's give him a hand, everybody.
While you're at it, give me a hand for saving this man's life. I couldn't take credit.
No, I could. All right, sure. I'll be in the commercial too. But he was fine. He was joking around like, oh, I'm fine. I guess I should buy.
Did they like call an ambulance?
I'm getting to that.
Sorry.
He's talking about how he's. Listen, Tim, I got to get through the story so we can talk about the sun.
Yeah, okay.
Which is where lightning comes from.
Right.
He's fine. And he's saying he's fine. He's joking about buying lottery tickets. And then, like, the producers, like,
that's a good joke.
What?
He had his wits about him.
He had his wits about him. His penis had been burned off.
Well.
But he had his wits.
You have your wits, that's half.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
He finally, like, word gets to the producers of like, hey, this guy got hit. And Tim, I'm not talking about Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick here. I'm talking about the producers of this commercial.
So it wasn't, they weren't very
It
funny.
was Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick. They happen to be producing this commercial.
But like not in their characters.
Just as, Hollywood guys.
Yeah, okay.
So they came over and they were like, hey, we called an ambulance. You have to go on the ambulance. And he was like, what? No, I'm fine. And then they were like, I think they like Googled it or whatever. And they're like, well, the thing is, like, sometimes you can be fine, but the lightning like cooked your insides. And the guy just starts hysterically crying. And it was just terrible because, like, he went from being fine to like, oh, am I dead already? Wait, why even put me in the ambulance? Like,
just bury me.
Well, I think it was the kind of thing of like, when they talk about it and there's arguments whether it is true or not, like when you cut somebody's head off that they're still conscious for a few seconds.
Yeah.
There was like kind of like a longer version of that. Like, yeah, you might feel fine, but all your organs might be gone. Like you might not have.
Did you have to do a mercy killing?
I had to do
as
an
the
emergency
lifeguard
surgery
on set.
Yeah, I had to hold him under.
Okay.
Hold him under the lake. That was the only place I was certified to do a mercy killing. But yeah, so Tim, to answer your question, yeah, I saw somebody get hit by lightning once, and it was very traumatic for him.
The sun itself rotates every 25 to 36 Earth days.
Yeah, but who knows for sure?
Yeah. Well,
how do you know the sun rotates? It all looks the same.
Because it's sunspots, you dink.
How do you know that there aren't sunspots on both sides?
That's true.
Makes you think.
It really does. And if you can't look at the sun, how are you knowing if it's rotating?
Here's a quick thing, and then we're going to move on to our next segment, if you know what that means.
Stop winking at me.
What color is the sun, Tim?
I feel like there's a trick question, but it's obviously reddish, orange, yellow.
The sun's color is white.
What?
Yeah. It's our atmosphere that gives it colors. If you're in space,
okay, so
and I know you've never...
So it's yellow. That's the answer.
No, it's white, like stars.
Yeah, but like... If we see it, it is whatever it is. It's
Tim, don't give
a philosophical thing.
Your,
like, what color is it? It's the color that we see it as. If I was like, yeah, Tom, my shirt's not blue, it's actually red, but the human eye sees it as blue.
I'm not.
Guess what? The shirt is freaking blue.
Yeah. Guess what, Tim? If you're up in a spaceship, the sun's white.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that the astronauts are wrong? You're telling me that...
how many people are up in a spaceship right now? And how many... It's 7
there's
billion
a few
to
people
like 6.
in the ISS.
Yeah, great. They got in-school suspension for cursing out a teacher. Congratulations.
Tim, I'm talking about the International Space Station, not in-school suspension.
But why are we being like, okay, so the real thing is the thing that 6 people can see. Instead of the thing that 7 billion people are seeing.
Because we're seeing it through the atmosphere. That makes it different, Tim.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
What
I'm saying is, like, who cares? Like, so it's...
Because I don't want you getting up to space and getting all freaked out that the sun's a different color.
You can't even look at it, no matter where you are, Tom.
You can in space?
No.
No, I
think
it's
more
even worse.
dangerous.
Yeah,
you get space madness.
Yeah, you're closer to it there.
Yeah. Scream, nobody would hear you.
When I was a kid, I drew the sun as orange, I remember, and maybe
and
like
did some
first grade.
know-it-all asshole podcaster go, actually, it's white.
No, some know-it-all asshole teacher was like, the sun's not orange, it's yellow. Like, you did it wrong. And I'm like, no, it's not always yellow. Like, during sunset, sunrise, it's orange. Like, I'm drawing it as orange. And they're like, no, you're wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really made and then that, right then and there you decide, well, I'm just going to be a liar.
Yeah. Well, I guess if it's this easy, I might as well do the same.
Start a new life.
It takes
Hey, AJ, I got a hoverboard.
Yeah. It was probably actually like very close to those two reels. I was like, oh, nothing matters? I'll just tell this guy I got a hoverboard.
Do you think that guy that got struck by lightning is still alive?
He was by the end of the day. I know. I asked about him, like, when everything was wrapping up.
Yeah.
Well, Tim, you know what? I love my crew. That's what they always say about me on shoots.
Yeah.
They're like, you know what? He's always great towards the crew. I was like, is that guy okay? And I think they were like, oh, we don't know. He just got there. But, you know.
We don't know. It's like Disney World. We got him into the parking lot, or we got him off the
exactly.
premises. It's up
he
to
was
you.
probably fine.
Has there ever been a murder at Disney World, though?
I don't think so. I thought you were going to ask if there's ever been a lightning murder.
No. I was at the beach one time.
Nice.
And, yeah, it was nice.
That's where the sun comes out to play.
Right. It was at City Island.
That's an island in the city.
Yeah, it is. And then we went and got dinner, and this big snowstorm. I mean, storm, a regular storm.
Now you're lying.
A regular storm started. It's like torrential downpour, and it like came out of nowhere. And I think 6 or 7 people on that beach got struck by lightning that day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah. Lightning's no joke.
Thomas, I know. That's why we should be. Lightning should be our god. We should be worshiping lightning.
Well, I don't think it's that we should ascribe it certain...
Or we should just never go outside.
Hey, halfway there.
Yeah. I like having fun in the sun.
Good. I'm very glad.
Well, that just, you know. The atmosphere of the sun is composed of 3 areas, Tom.
Tim, you don't have to read the report.
The
I may be right.
photosphere, the chromosphere, and solar Corona. Ooh,
Nice.
I'd like to
Sounds
drink that down.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Do you want to solve some problems?
I'm solving problems right now. A solar eclipse occurs when the Earth passes the
I
shadow
said
of the
this
moon.
already, and you got mad at me.
Yeah, that's true. Tom,
Uh-huh.
let me just tell you something that happened in February. This is serious.
Okay.
In February of 1974, Skylab was the first manned spacecraft to study the sun. Wait, Skylab wasn't manned, was it?
I don't think so.
Planetfacts.org. Bigger liar than Tom Reynolds in first grade.
Well, why are you looking at planet facts about the sun?
Yeah, sun isn't even a planet. That's fact number 1.
Yeah. If that's not
Now, here's the crap that I hate about facts. This is why nobody trusts anybody these days. If you weigh 100 pounds, your weight on the sun would be 2,707 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't be on the sun. There's nowhere to stand, and if there was, you'd burn up.
I don't
Stop making these stop saying this is how much you'd weigh. You wouldn't. There's nothing to. I'm so angry at planetfacts.org.
They're just giving people false
Take
expectations.
the goddamn website down. Mark my words, Tom.
All right, let's solve some problems.
Hello and welcome to Tim and Tom Solve Your Problems. I'm Tim.
I'm Tom.
And we're going to solve some problems, or a problem. Somebody flapped their gums about the sun for an hour. This one comes from a guy named Chris.
Mm-hmm.
You can use my name. It would be a thrill, he says. I would say his last name, but I can't pronounce it. Dear Tim and Tom, please help. If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, email us
at the end.
thecompleteguidetoeverything@gmail.com.
Tim, you're getting all confused.
And join our Patreon. Dear Tim and Tom, please help. Huge fan, been listening for what's likely an unhealthy amount of time. I don't know.
Well, it's unhealthy if it's all you're doing.
It's unhealthy. It's only unhealthy if you're out in the sun without sunscreen on.
Or a hat. And a hat.
And a hat. And a beekeeper's mask. Can't get enough of the show, he says.
Not the sun.
You can use my name. It would be a thrill. Chris.
Are you just reading the first sentence of this over and over again?
Anyways, my boyfriend chews with his mouth open nonstop. It drives me crazy. Every meal is an exercise in trying to avoid the sounds and visuals. It's quite sensory. Tim, I know you share my displeasure of mouth sounds, so I figured you would have experience with this issue. I brought it up to him in joking ways a few times, but it doesn't seem to be landing. Should I boycott meals with him until he closes shop? I think mouth is shop.
Until he closes his mouth. His mouth shop. His shop mouth.
Should I rationally explain my disgust? Pack my puggle and move to Bermuda? Well, this sounds like a great plan.
Is that a sexual thing?
Yeah. Or just embrace the masticating madness.
Ugh.
Anyways, thanks for all the laughs. May your planes ever be horseless. I like this guy, Chris.
Yeah. Chewing with your mouth open may be one of the worst things you can do in the world, in life.
Except for genocide.
Mm.
And watching someone get struck by lightning and doing nothing. Like a coward.
Made sure he said he was fine until somebody told him he might not be.
Yeah.
And I'm not a lightning doctor. That's what I told him. I'm not a lightning doctor. I'm just a lifeguard. I'm an out of practice lifeguard who's here for insurance purposes.
Yeah. It's rude to chew with your mouth open.
Wait, has he told his boyfriend to not keep his mouth open while he chews?
I don't think so. I think
that's step one.
Well, here's the thing. It's one of those things where, it's for some reason, embarrassing for you to tell somebody. Like if you have something like gross hanging out of your nose.
Oh, do I?
I feel embarrassed to be like, yo, you got something gross coming.
Right.
But like you are the one with the gross thing coming out of your face.
Right. I'm the one who should be embarrassed.
But like it's
But I'm just
embarrassing
gonna
for
eat it and
everybody.
move on.
Eat it and move on.
It is, but if you're in a relationship with a person, then you've got like that's more, I mean, it's still a delicate topic to broach, but it is the kind of thing where it's like, look, this isn't just for me. This is for you. Nobody likes somebody, you never meet somebody and they're like, you should meet my friend, John. He's great. He chews with his mouth open. He's got a lot of jokes. Like, nobody likes somebody who chews with their mouth open.
But like,
sorry, John.
but like, it's not. I'm not like I'm never like. You should meet my friend Tom. He's got a lot of jokes. He a
lot of opinions about the sun.
His fly is always open, so you'll never see his dick. Like, it's not something that you would mention.
So you'll never see it?
Yeah, if your fly is never open.
Oh, if it's never open.
Wait, I don't. Look, you know how to zip your fly. Yeah, like, it's not like you would never say he chews with his mouth closed. Like, it's
Tim,
not something.
I leave the house with my fly down more often than I'm comfortable with.
Tom, radiations of the sun are in two forms:
We're not talking about the
electromagnetic
sun.
and particle radiation.
I know that.
Electromagnetic
It's one
is
of the things that makes
photons,
the sun
particle is
so
electrons,
interesting.
protons, alpha particles, etc. We all know this.
He's got to talk to him about chewing with his mouth open. That's the only way this is going to get solved, especially like he's a grown man, presumably.
Not even in a. I don't think it should be an attacking way.
No,
Just be like,
in a
look,
very
this
sensitive
is
way.
actually kind of like bad. You're a bad
There are
person. Preface it with, look, you're a bad person.
I'm not saying it's a
Because
bad
of what I'm
thing, but
about
you're
to
a
tell you.
bad person.
Yes.
But there are
You
things,
can fix this, but you can't save your soul.
There are things that, like I feel like that's actually, again, a very gentle subject to broach, but that's the kind of thing that like boyfriends and girlfriends are good for, and nothing else, in my experience.
Kissing, Tom.
Kissing Tom
What?
is telling you things that they're the ones, they're the closest to you, that they can tell you like, hey, look, you do this thing. Nobody's ever told you this because it's embarrassing to tell somebody this.
Right.
So that's why people have avoided this. But trust me, they've all noticed, and they all hate you for it at a deep, deep level.
Yeah, they might not, like some of the nicer ones might not realize that they hate you that much.
Right, but it's still there.
Yeah.
It's affecting their opinion of you.
And while you're at it, tell them the inner core is the hottest part of the sun.
Of
and
course
can
it's
reach
the hottest
27 billion degrees Fahrenheit. Which, again, it's this, for all intents and purposes, it's just as hot as the surface, which it doesn't exist because it's all gas.
I mean, it does exist. There's still a surface of gas.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, well, now
I don't think you understand what a surface is. A surface doesn't have to be solid. The surface of the water isn't solid, of the ocean.
liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying it could be a surface of gas.
Uh-huh.
Interesting. What keeps it together, though?
The sun?
Yeah.
Space.
But how?
Space is cold.
Quiet.
Then
Smells
quiet.
like sulfur, right?
It's apparently smells and tastes metallic space, which makes sense. It's full of metal.
Is it?
No. I mean, there's like particles around and stuff, though, I guess.
There's particles around us.
It's true. And everything tastes metallic. If you have a problem you'd like us to solve, you can email us at completeguideeverything@gmail.com.
Thank you, Chris, for writing it.
Yes. And good luck teaching your boyfriend some manners.
Yeah. No, don't attack.
I said not to attack him.
It's fine.
But you know what? Take care of it before
Fine,
it
but
gets
it's
out of
gross
control.
and it needs to stop.
You can check out our website, tcgt.com. You can check out our tour dates in Scotland and England coming up next month at tcgt.com/tour. Support the show by supporting our sponsors, by supporting our Amazon link at tcgt.com/Amazon. You can support it by clicking on it and then buying things.
Yeah, it's cheaper if you use that.
It's not cheaper, and I'm pretty sure that's a blatant violation of their terms of service to imply that. Yeah. But who knows? It might be.
Come at me, Bezos, right?
Yeah, I mean, he wouldn't even have to come at you. He could just turn this off.
Like he knows how to do that.
He tells somebody else to do it.
Yeah, he's the big picture guy, and they're all like, yeah, screw you, old man. 'Cause they all hate him. They openly defy him.
You can support us on Patreon at tcgt.com/pledge, where you can get fun bonus things like weekly episodes of Amazing Facts and all the old episodes and episodes early and postcards, all kinds of fun stuff.
Postcards?
Yeah, I sent them out last month. I signed your name to them.
God damn it.
Yeah.
You've forged my name so many times.
Well,
how many times do you estimate you've forged my name?
Hundreds at this point. Yeah. I mean, there's only a 1-letter difference, so it's very easy.
I know you know how to spell my name. It's not like, man, I sure would forge all these documents if only I knew how to spell Bill Gates' name.
Well, and I think because we both have 3-letter names, it's very, there's only so many ways you can write that. So we have similar signatures to begin with.
One of the letters is just a dang circle in your name.
Well, there's just a line and a dot in yours.
Hey, fuck you.
All right, we'll see you next week.
That was a HeadGum podcast.